Hello, friend. Welcome back to the weekly live series from Lawyers Design School. This is Legal Design Thinking in Real Life. My name is Hannele, and I'm the founder of Lawyers Design School, and I'm on a mission to transform legal space with the help of human-centered design, aka legal design. My specialty is contract design, so I help lawyers to simplify and visualize their contracts and other legal documents. Today, our topic is one of my favorites. I'm talking about legal language, legal jargon, legalese, legal lingo. You can name it whatever you want. And it's the one thing that people typically recognize about law and lawyers: complicated language, big words, and boring content. And why is that my favorite topic, you might ask? Well, it's because I love words, I love writing, and I also love people. I love connecting with people with the words. So simplifying legalese feels like kind of a manifestation of this in legal land. So let's take the bull by the horns and see what we can do about this, because we definitely can and we should, if we want to work, if we want our work as lawyers to be impactful and valuable for our clients. I will start with a practical example. Here is Linda, who has a burning question to their lawyer. They have just been fired and they are devastated, obviously. They come to you with an email. Picture this situation that you get an email from Linda. They write, "Hey, can you help me? My boss fired me and I don't think it's right. Can I take them to court?" And if you think about Linda's situation, you can imagine the situation they are in: angry, frustrated, sad, looking for help and some clear advice on what to do. So what the lawyer might write back. This is a typical response. Based on what you shared, it's possible to file a lawsuit against your former employer if you believe that you were wrongfully terminated. However, before taking legal actions, it's recommended to gather evidence and consult with our employment lawyer to understand your rights and assess the strength of your case. How would that work for you? If you were Linda and if you would get that response to your email, how would that make you feel? Let's take a closer look and see what's happening in that writing. As you can see, the lawyer's response is not really matching Linda's communication. The answer is obviously technically accurate and precise, but it might not be the most effective way to communicate with someone who is not a lawyer, and especially if they are going through a difficult time. The response is using expressions like file a lawsuit, wrongfully terminated, gather evidence, which might be confusing and overwhelming to someone who is not familiar with legal jargon. You can also see the parts that I have highlighted with orange. Lawyer has responded using passive voice, so not talking directly to Linda. And despite the fact that the response is legally sound, it may come across as impersonal, distant, maybe overly formal and too complicated. And it leaves a gap between the lawyer and Linda. And in this situation, it may be helpful to use more simple, more accessible language that connects with Linda and addresses their emotional needs. For instance, we could try something like this. "I'm sorry to hear that you were let go. Yes, you could sue your old boss if you feel like you were let go unfairly, but first let's make sure that you have all the proof you need and talk to our lawyer who knows about the job law. They can help you figure out if you have a good case. We're here to support you every step of the way." Do you notice the difference between these two responses? The second one is more clear, it's more straightforward, it's personable and empathetic, which could be a better fit for someone like Linda, who's looking for support and guidance. So as you see, by using more accessible language and showing concern for your client's situation, you can bridge the gap between your legal expertise and human connection. So using that example with Linda, we can identify 3 strategies that you can use to simplify your legal language. The strategies are about clarity, personality, and about relevance. First strategy is that you need to make your message clear. Your words need to get right to the point and make your meaning crystal clear. And I know that this may sound obvious, but it's actually not. Many times we don't even know what the core of our message is for our clients. We get lost in the details and lose sight of the core of our message. So to make your writing clear, it's essential that you have clear thinking behind it. It all starts with good groundwork. One of the key ways to make it clear is to avoid legal jargon or technical terms that might be unfamiliar to your clients. Instead of a legalese, use simple and everyday language that is easy to understand. Consider the words you use carefully and ask yourself, is there a simple way, more simple way, or more simpler words that could be just as effective? What I've found is that sometimes it's actually helpful to talk first and then write like you talk. This can help you to choose easier words. So pretend that you are explaining something to someone, and then you get the hang of the more easier words. And we saw some examples of this in Linda's case. To ensure that you are making it clear, you need to empathize with your client. If your client needs to ask questions to understand what you are talking about, it's a clear sign that your message needs to be simplified and made more accessible. Then the second strategy, make it personal. This strategy is about the tone of voice you are using. Do your words sound human and relatable? This is first and foremost a question about your mindset. How do you want to be perceived by your clients? A distant, know-it-all expert and overly formal, or a go-to professional who's relatable and trustworthy? Lawyers often think that formality gives them street credibility in the eyes of their clients, but this isn't always the case. In fact, clients often prefer a more approachable and relatable tone, and it's the lawyer who has a need to use a certain style and tone of voice and keep the distance. But when you work on your tone of voice and make your message more personal, you can build a connection with your client and make your writing feel more relatable. Your client feels that you get them and that you speak directly to them about their particular situation, not about some generic legal issue that's happening to someone out there. And it's important to remember that you are always writing to people, for people, even if you worked with B2B clients and C-level executives. So consider the emotional impact of your words and how they will resonate with your clients. So ultimately, by using the right tone of voice, you can create more effective and more meaningful message that resonates with your clients and inspires action. And that is what you want. You want your words to have impact. And you know, one really, really powerful word that you can use to make it personal, it's the word you. Could you start addressing your client directly and give up the passive voice? That's something for you to think about. Then the third strategy to simplify your language is to make it relevant. Focus on what matters to your clients and use words and phrases that match and describe your client's exact situation. Again, this is ultimately a mindset shift. Shift your focus from yourself to your clients. To make your message relevant, start by thinking about what your clients want to know and achieve with your advice. What are their pain points? What are their goals? And what are their motivations? Once you have a clear understanding of their perspective, you can choose language and examples that speak directly to their interests and concerns. As a lawyer, I know this too well. It's so common that we write for ourselves and we write for our other lawyers. And then we assume that everyone else is like us, that everyone else thinks like us. We also write all the things that we know about the topic and ignore the client. What is it that they need to know and hear in order to understand and then take action? We put the spotlight on us instead of the client. So you can make your language more relevant and effective by turning the spotlight on your client and communicating the key message they need to hear. To make your message even more relevant, it's helpful to use concrete and specific language rather than vague and abstract terms by providing concrete examples and real-world scenarios. You can make your message more relatable and easier to understand. These can help your clients to see the relevance of your advice to their own lives and increase their engagement and motivation to take action. Here's another hot tip to ensure that your writing feels relevant to your clients. Listen to the words that your clients are using and use the same words in your communication. And be really deliberate with this. They are actually giving you all the tools you need. So match the words and phrases they use in your own answer, and it will make all the difference. So what are the benefits of doing this? What are the benefits of simplifying legalese? Why you should even care about this? To summarize, simple language helps your clients to understand and also engage with the information you share with them. It enhances communication with your clients. Remember that not all people think like lawyers, so if you want your information and documents to be accessible to a wider audience, particularly those without a legal background, simplification is a necessary muscle for you to build up. Simpler language empowers your clients to have agency in their own legal case and make informed decisions about it. This is what people want. This is what your clients actually want, to understand and feel in control over their own lives and businesses. It's not taking anything away from you, quite the opposite. You become the trusted companion who makes sense. And that's a super valuable skill to have in this information overload world. So there you have it, 3 strategies to simplify legalese. But one thing before you go, if you're someone who does not really fit in the traditional mold of a lawyer and you are feeling frustrated about it, I've created one helpful resource for you. It's a quiz that will help you to tap into your designerly lawyer superpowers, because that's what they are. All the traits that make you stand out, like practicality, visuality, creativity, they are your superpowers. So I want you to discover those superpowers and unleash them to the world. Go to lawyersdesignschool.com/quiz. That's lawyersdesignschool.com/quiz. And let's discover those superpowers together. Thank you so much for joining today. And I'd love to hear from you. So please leave a comment or drop me a DM to continue the discussion for a better legal space for all of us. Thank you. Bye-bye.